bitches go.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Tyson Fury's own father says he needs to ditch his team, and he's never seen him look quite that poor as he did versus Wallin. We unpack. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Man, Tyson Fury was in an unexpected war versus Wallin this weekend. I did my post-fight thoughts and did several videos about it. Make sure you guys check that on the channel. And it was a good fight. You know, so that's good for fans. It was a good fight, and it was an unexpected good fight. People didn't really expect it to be much of anything. Wallin, unknown. He only had one 10-rounder in his whole career. He only had one 12-rounder in his whole career. He had only fought in America once. You know, let me actually show you since we're talking about it. He was unheralded, unknown, you know, hadn't frequently fought in the States. Here's Wallin's box rec. Shout out to BoxRec. Now his record is 21-0 or 20-1, and you know, 59% knockout ratio, southpaw, 6'5.5", 78-inch reach from Sweden. But look at the names. He fought earlier this year on the ShoBox card against Nick Kissner, 21-4-1. Fought Adrian Granite, Sardan, you know, who had a 6-5-0 record. Gianluca, who had a 12-4 record. None of these are recognizable names. So for him to give Fury, look through his whole resume. He doesn't even have like Robert Helenius, Eric Molina, you know, Marischweck, those types of names, like guys who were, you know, what's the guy that Wilder knocked out? Lakovic. He don't even have nobody like that, like former contenders, former champion guys who were, you know, at one point or another supposed to be like Thomas Adamak or something. You know, he don't have no names like that, and he did extremely well. He's 28, didn't really have the resume for it, didn't have the experience at a pro level, at a high level, yet he gave Tyson Fury all the troubles in the world. Now you can complain and say, oh man, it's because of cut. Like Fury posted this, it says Warrior, his face is all bloody, and it says we are Sparta. The bottom line is people thought this was a cherry pick, and then it turned out to be a cherry pick gone wrong. Wallin really came to fight, and he didn't come to lay down. And I think, in my personal opinion, I think Tyson Fury, he's getting the red carpet treatment with ESPN, which we'll talk more about in this unpack. He's getting that, and it kind of got to his head, despite what he's saying. Like he said stuff like he don't really care about money, never ever has he met a millionaire who was happy. But I really think ESPN gassed him and set him up. They got him feeling invincible. You know, he's getting more money than probably he was making previously off the back of the Wilder fight, which we also got to talk about him. And he was just feeling it. He was feeling it and probably thought it was going to be easier. And then this is the beautiful thing about this sport. Boxing is the theater of the unknown. You have to expect the unexpected. You don't know you're going to get cut. It's not like WrestleMania or, you know, a cage match where Ben Davison has razor blades and, you know, he's cutting your eyebrow to simulate what it would be like to have a cut and blood like leaking in your eye. This man looked like Stone Cold. I don't know if it was WrestleMania, but there's a clip of Stone Cold. Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's it. Yeah. And Bret Hart put him in the sharpshooter, and he was yeah. What was this? That's what Tyson Fury's face looked like. Stone Cold. See, I love the internet. Make sure you guys smash the like button. We unpacked. So anyway, you can't prepare for these moments. You don't know, how you're gonna deal with it. and you got to just deal with it. You know, Hulk Hogan, that was another moment. Oh yeah, brother. You know, this should look crazy. But look, I'm lying. His face was a massacre. So I give props to Fury for showing heart, because in my opinion, Joshua and Amir Khan, also British fighters, in their fights with Ruiz and then Khan's fight with Terrence Crawford, they checked out. Mentally, they kind of checked out and wanted no mas. So Terrence Crawford kind of beat the brakes off Amir Khan, and he didn't want no more. He looked for a way out. Same thing with Joshua spitting out the gum shield, mouthpiece and shit. And the ref, he just didn't look like he wanted to be there anymore. Tyson Fury, he bit down on mouthpiece, dealt with the, you know, impaired vision and stuff like that. And he went out the true gypsy warrior way, and he came out with the victory. However, in doing so, he left a lot to be desired. And I think even though he got past this fight, this particular performance has exponentially and tremendously hurt him. You know, it has hurt him because it brings you back down to earth. You got this new ESPN deal. You look great versus another unknown, Tom Schwartz. And then you were in a tune-up where you were supposed to blast this guy out. And you're in a tough fight. And your face is looking crazy. You don't look as sharp. Like Tyson Fury, what happened to all the like hands behind the back and tongue out, you know, kiss Gene Simmons shit. And then the beat on the ropes like he was with hands down, you know, deflecting shots. And we didn't see all that in this fight. He had to just focus on the task at hand, right? He wasn't really playing around like that. And he was also hurt in this fight. So I think Top Rank and ESPN, they played Tyson Fury because the money came in. They were so quick to throw a ton of cash at him, trying to capitalize off of the back of Wilder. See, you got to understand, Tyson Fury was kind of exiled. He was banished. He disappeared for 2-3 years dealing with his personal demons. And I commend him for coming out of that. But that doesn't change the fact that he had to relinquish all his belts. He gained a ton of weight, these different types of things. And he was gone. While he was gone, everybody else who wasn't breaking the rules and failing drug tests, all the other heavyweights were active. They were fighting. Deontay Wilder was fighting. And that's why he's about to be enjoying historic amount of title defenses, double digits. You know, join the likes of the Muhammad Ali's and, you know, Klitschko's and stuff like that with the amount of title defenses he has. Tyson Fury was absent throughout the whole thing, and he's trying to come back. He took two soft opponent, and then he jumped up and fought Wilder, and then, you know, he wants people to recognize him as the lineal champion. He's lucky to have even gotten past the Wilder fight based on that 12th round, you know. And I think this fight particularly hurt him because, again, this whole deal was off of the back of Wilder. Tyson Fury was a relic. Nobody was really even talking about him. People thought he was over for him. And Tyson Fury likes a challenge. He likes to prove people wrong. And to a degree, he did that, you know, by losing the weight and, you know, not getting knocked out by Wilder. But his claim to fame is not getting knocked out by Wilder and Undertaker get up, you know, from a tremendous punch and hook combination landed by Wilder. So he got the deal with ESPN, fled the rematch. He should have handled business. They could have fought May of this year and then already been working towards their trilogy, you know, or maybe had a tune-up in between, had a second fight, you know, somebody hold the belt, and then before going into a third trilogy fight, you know, take lighter touch opponents and then re-meet in 2020. Now all that was pushed back by Bob Arum, ESPN, Top Rank, and Frank Warren. They all got together, seen that there was money, and they liked the package deal. But in doing that, they really hurt Tyson Fury because he went in there with somebody who he was supposed to look good against, and he didn't look good against them. You know, again, Tyson Fury. See, we as boxing fans have to stop celebrating foolish shit. This is about boxing. Hit, don't get hit. The sweet science. You know, make it a challenge for your opponent to touch you and touch them. Pause. People have this infatuation and this bloodlust for violence and, you know, some Roman gladiator shit. But that gets overstated. Again, I'm a boxing fan, so of course, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch. See, look at this. Look, they had to censor the picture. That's how gruesome it is. They had to censor it. Look, that's a nasty fucking cut. You see what I'm saying? You got 2 cuts. I'm telling you, this hurt Tyson Fury. This is a deep ass gash that definitely required. His whole eyebrow is split. Eyebrows fucked up. This looks like people. I know a lot of skateboarders, you know, growing up and shit. People who skate. This is like skate injuries. Remember that show with the dude from Papa Roach? They from Vacaville too. Shout out to 707. I used to see them in concert, you know, at Ulatis. But anyway, he had the show called Scarred on MTV. This looks like that shit. This looks pretty bad. This looks like some of the motherfuckers in UFC that have all these cuts and gashes and scrapes and shit from them little ass gloves that they have in the UFC. So now you have a black eye, you know, you got bleed, and it's a gnarly cut, and he's like making faces and shit. But Wilder, he's seen the fight too, just like Andy Ruiz. So this, to me, it really hurt Fury. Now Tyson Fury, he is supposed to fight Wilder next, and in my opinion, there's probably a contract that stipulates how many fights they had in between the Wilder fight. And to my knowledge, it was Tyson Fury had one more fight and then fighting Wilder in February. So legally, I don't know. And Wilder's supposed to fight one more time in November against Luis Ortiz. We're still waiting on the announcement. So I don't know like the legal jargon, and I haven't seen the contract, of course, but I would imagine that it's over for Tyson Fury. Like in terms of he can't fight somebody else and have another feel-good fight in between. He has to go straight into the Wilder fight. 2 reasons. 1, look at this cut. That cut has to heal. So you don't want to, you know, jeopardize that. 2nd, you don't want to jeopardize it, go in there with another tune-up fight before your big money fight, and then run the risk of looking like you did versus Otto Wallin and then really messing up the Wilder bag. So Tyson Fury has to live by, you made your bed without lying it. You and your team decided to opt to pull out of Wilder negotiations. They were in deep negotiations to fight last May after a great instant classic first fight to give him tune-ups, and you nearly lost the tune-up. People feel you were exposed in the tune-up, and now you really have no time to further prepare. So your everlasting memory of Wilder is the 12th round of Wilder, and your memory going into the rematch is a tune-up that was much harder than expected, where you sustained injury and also were hurt. You know, the 12th round curse, you were hurt in the 12th round of this fight. I don't see how that set Tyson Fury up for success, especially if Deontay Wilder go in there and handle business in a major way versus Luis Ortiz. Like if he just goes in there and gets him out of it. Everybody's talking about the Fury fight, and we as fans have to stop marveling on the wrong stuff. Of course, a war and people getting knocked out and punches, that's great. You know, it's entertainment and stuff like that. But these top level guys like Tyson Fury's, this is a net. Like, look at this, bro. This is what you're going into the fight with. You know, potential scar tissue. And you know people are going to target that. If I'm Wilder, why wouldn't I target that? And Terrence Crawford even said, had that been anybody else, the fight would have been stopped. This is a nasty cut. And then there was a second cut that formed. And see, the fact is, I'm not no dermatologist or nothing, but you can imagine once a cut like this is open up, it weakens the skin around it, which is why this part is probably more susceptible, which is why you see multiple tearing and looks like lacerations and shit on the face. Similar to Kell Brook. When Kell Brook made a foolish decision, like I told you guys, another thing I got right on the channel, made a foolish ass decision to, see, that looked bad, bro. When he made a foolish decision to fight Gennady Golovkin at 160, Golovkin broke his orbital on the right side. Then the pressure was on for him to fight Errol Spence when he came back. And and that was his mandatory. Then he fought a southpaw, deadly, and that guy stopped him too and messed up the other eye. So you can imagine how this stuff works. your skull, your face, the front of it, your orbitals damaged in the Golovkin fight. That probably weakens the whole area. So when you got in there with, and I'm not taking anything from Earl Spence. I'm not taking anything away from him at all, but I'm just saying it was a bad look to have fought Kovalev. So you might have, career-wise, you might have scar tissue and cutting. Like, you notice, and this is the thing, you know, Badu Jack had a nasty cut in his fight with Marcus Brown. We haven't seen him back yet. This shit takes time, and we don't know how it's going to be. Shout out to my dude Badu Jack. You know, he's staying busy and, you know, doing stuff with his other businesses and his family and stuff. But you never know. This could change your career. Just a simple injury or cut sustained, you know, especially against the heavyweights. Tyson Fury, his defense isn't what people make it out to be. He don't have a Pernell Whitaker or Floyd Mayweather defense, not even close. He moves well for a big man, and he moves well for a heavyweight, period. But he didn't move well enough to prevent his cut from happening. And now going in with the tune-up fight, a guy you're supposed to easily handle, this happened. Now your own father, and this is what the great thing about new media is, you can't blame it on just me. I'm not the only one that feels this way. His own father says, Michael Benson, he's a reporter, it says John Fury on Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin. Quote from his own dad, I've never seen him as bad. He's a lucky man to get the win. If he'd been in front of any other man tonight, like Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz Jr., he wouldn't be coming away the winner. He wouldn't have beat Povetkin on that performance. And he said this on BT Sports, right? Then he also took aim at Tyson Fury's new team because he used to train Tyson Fury. Quote, if I had my say, the lot would be gone. If he keeps hold of that team, they're going to cost him his career. I'll say it on live TV. The team around him now, Ben Davison, whatever he's got in charge of the business, needs to have a look in the mirror. So his own pops is warning him, your career might not be the same if you don't make a change. I don't know if he wants to be back in the mix or whatever. So this fight definitely did more harm than it did for good. And new media, this is what I said from the beginning. This is what I said from the beginning. This is why you don't overdo it and prolong the fights and try to play God and, you know, keep taking these chances. Everybody wanted to see Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. That's what they wanted to see, an immediate rematch to a December fight. Top Rank, Bob Arum, ESPN, they jumped in the mix and they messed it up and they prolonged it. Now he almost lost to someone else. Similarly, another British fighter, similar situation. Anthony Joshua easily could have fought Deontay Wilder last year. There was $50 million offered, 50% of the back end. You guys know the whole story. His team playing around, right? And long story short, they fought Povetkin, which Joshua had problems in that fight, which was a risk because his nose was bleeding, I think, in that particular fight. Luckily, he got Povetkin out of there. But then he's supposed to fight Gerald Miller. He fails a drug test. Andy Ruiz comes in and stops Anthony Joshua, Mexican heavyweight, first ever. The rest is history. So little things like this happen. I don't understand why boxing keeps continually going through the same shit over and over and over again. Boxing refuses to learn from its past mistakes and the history, you know how they say history repeats itself, and do the same thing over and over. ESPN, I can understand as a business wanting to have stock in Wilder Fury 2 because the first fight was good. However, you shouldn't have jumped in the mix and created your own journey or path to the Wilder fight and did all this extra shit. And now you got your fighter eye looking crazy. And this is his last fight before he goes in. Again, contractually, I don't know if he can even do another fight. I don't know if he can go into another fight because it sounds like the contracts are pretty much set. That if Wilder gets past his next guy and Fury gets past his next guy, Otto Wallin, which he did, then they fight. But this didn't do Tyson Fury any favors. His own dad is saying that. And look, he's posting Warrior. We are Sparta. All that stuff is cool. But Wilder's a warrior too. We've seen it. He was tested in the Luis Ortiz fight. He's an immense puncher. Tyson Fury never knocked down Otto Wallin, never knocked him out. Maybe he's that tough. Maybe Fury's punching power is not as ESPN stated, or maybe it's a combination of both. But all I know is going into the Wilder rematch, this is not the performance that you want to do that from. Now you got to just sit on the sidelines. Wilder is going to be fresher because he's fighting in November some point. late November, because Canelo's fighting at the beginning of November. So he's fighting late November, and he's going to have December, January, February to come back, so he's going to have a decently quick turnaround. And your turnaround, some of it is just merely healing. Bad performance. His own pops is saying it. And this is all at the hands of somebody who was not regarded as any level of threat to top heavyweights. This guy really went from fighting Nick Kistner with a 21-4-1 record. Let's look at him. Look at him. He got 6 knockouts. He went from fighting a guy with 6 knockouts to the lineal champion. He has a 1.5 star rating. A box rec violating right there. Look, 1.5 star rating, his last opponent. No memorable names on his, on his whole resume. That's who Otto Wallin was facing. And Otto Wallin just put himself on the map with a great performance. Even in the loss, he gains more than Tyson Fury in the win. First of all, I don't think Tyson Fury hurt Otto Wallin like ESPN was trying to play it up and say, oh, every time Tyson Fury was landing punches. I think Tyson Fury did good rounds, like maybe 7 through 10. That was probably his best work. But every time he was landing, they were making it sound like Otto Wallin was almost on his way out. The referee, Tony Weeks, I'm so happy, did an excellent job, because I was hoping and praying that they didn't just try to force the rush. If they let Tyson Fury fight with all them cuts and bleeding and leaking, and it was a gruesome injury and a gruesome cut, Vitaly Klitschko had a bad cut with Lennox Lewis, and they ended that, So I was hoping and praying that the impression of Tyson Fury and kind of like the ESPN and the crowd, they didn't stop Otto Wallin, when he was able to continue off of some bullshit because some flush punches landed. He was in the fight at all point. Now, the other thing that's concerning headed into the Wilder fight for me is this with Tyson Fury. He keeps saying, he's been saying this since the first fight. He said, Deontay Wilder, I'm going to knock you Spock out. And he says, before the Otto Wallin fight, Tyson Fury says, when I fought Wilder, this is the excuse that Top Rank and Fury have come up with. They said, when I fought Wilder, I was not at my best. I was not at good weight. I had just taken 2 tune-up fights, and now I'm feeling fit. I'm feeling better than ever, and I'm punching harder than I've ever punched in my career, etc. But you were walloping Otto Wallin with some hard shots, or your hardest shots, and he went nowhere. So to me, that's all that, I'm punching harder than I've ever punched. That's all like a state of mind more than a reality. You say you're punching harder, but you didn't stop someone who was inexperienced. And the fact that Tyson Fury was able to land the punches and the types of punches flush that he was landing in rounds 7 through 10 and a couple body shots and stuff from 7 to 10, yet you're the one that's hurt in the final round and you definitely lose the 12th round. That's not a good sign, because that means Otto Wallin was able to take all of your best shots and still have enough energy and dig down to hurt you and pile it on you and easily take the 12th round. That wasn't a good impression. Now, if the 12th round was like, you were better off, to me, I'm not even trying to be funny. To me, Tyson Fury was better off just keeping the full distance. Just bop and move in, bop, bop, and then move. Just stick and move, and not getting hurt. Because the fact that you got hurt in the 12th round made it really bad. Again, you just hit him with, Tyson Fury was literally grunting as he was throwing the punches. Like, like, like a Viking or something. He was grunting, and Wallin went nowhere. So all this talk about from the fans of Tyson Fury, from old media and from Tyson Fury about knocking Wilder out, I'd have to see that, I'd have to see that. I really have to see that, because he's been saying that since the first fight, and I didn't really see him hurt Wilder. Wilder missed. He outboxed Wilder in some rounds, but this is just simply put not the type of performance that I would imagine. And his own father's saying that, so there's nothing you could really say to new media about being biased and all. They try to find ways to to bring us down, you know. But here's the other kicker in new media. We're going to talk about it. Tyson Fury claims that his weight was so bad and now he has such a good weight, you know, in the auto violin and punching harder. But here's the fun fact. I'm going to show you. When he fought Otto Wallin, he was 254 and a half. That's how much he weighed. Right? Wilder came in at 212 when he fought Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury was 256 and a half. So Tyson Fury says he wasn't in the best shape, but he weighed right around the same thing. Look, I just showed you. Versus Wilder, Tyson Fury weighed let me zoom it in so y'all could really see. This is him versus Wilder. Wilder weighed 212 and a half, extremely light. Look, December 1st, I was at the fight, 2018. Wilder weighed 212 and a half. Tyson Fury weighed 256 and a half, right? But versus Otto Wallin, Tyson Fury weighed 254. So you weighed within 2 pounds of what you weighed for Wilder, yet the narrative, and he was much smaller. Otto Wallin weighed 236, and he was shorter and visibly shorter and smaller. So versus Otto Wallin, you said this is the great, incredible shape that you've been in, and you were not in full shape because you were just coming back, even though you had 2 tune-ups then. But you weighed within 2 pounds of each other. And you were training with Abel Sanchez and then Big Bear with altitude. So to me, all that was cap. All that was a cop out. All that was an excuse. It's not that you got caught because you got caught. You got, Wilder fooled you and you got caught. It wasn't about you were in bad shape in the first fight and now you're in so much better shape. You had dropped the weight. We seen Tyson Fury at bad shape. Look, his body type looks the same. Body type looks the same as that's a weird picture. His body type looks the same as in the Otto Wallin fight. It's not like he was like ripped for the Otto Wallin fight. He looks, it looks like the similar size. And per the scale, you were within 2 pounds of each other. So to be honest, it's not looking good for Tyson Fury, in my opinion. And I think he kind of got too big for his bridges and felt the exposure, the money, and things that he's received, the red carpet treatment with ESPN. They're trying to build him like he's like this top show. But the Otto Wallin fight sold less tickets. It's an inflated number. I'm almost positive of that. But even the inflated number is a lesser number than the Tom Schwartz fights. So I thought Tyson Fury was this huge attraction. Coming off the heels of a second round Tom Schwartz knockout, why is he selling less tickets in the same city a couple months later after the summer's ended where people aren't on vacation and stuff? It's all not making sense. It's all not making sense. And his own father is saying he needs to switch his team. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do there because, he has this new trainer who's young, and they kind of talk about that, how young he is. And I don't know. It's just looking like the banter from Tyson Fury, it doesn't sound as believable anymore. After the fight, after struggling with Otto Wallin and getting this WBC belt, that you earned a WBC Mayan belt off of that performance, whatever, and then lineal champ, all this stuff that they've been building. I think he started believing his own celebrity. He started believing his own legend and things like that. And, to me, it just don't make sense. And I think the Wilder fight is going to be very hard for him. If anything, I can imagine Wilder, Andy Ruiz, all these guys are salivating. Even the young cats like Daniel Dubois, F.A. Ajagba, Tyson Fury, there was vulnerabilities. We don't know if he's going to heal from his scar tissue. And that's it. Even his own dad is saying the same thing. So we'll see how it plays out. For now, he has to rest up. But I'm not going to celebrate this whole, he's a warrior. And, your face is not supposed to look like this when you have the skills to avoid it, If you have the skills to avoid it, you shouldn't have your face looking like this, period. So we'll see how it all plays out. But to me, I wasn't thrilled. Like, Tyson Fury definitely didn't live up to ESPN's expectations that they put forth, if that makes sense. Look, they have him. They were doing these. He was doing custom suits and stuff. I think he started feeling himself. You know, ESPN rolled out the red carpet, and he started feeling like, oh, I'm feeling good. Coming out to Apollo Creed, you know, James Brown, Living in America, listening to the hype that they're giving you, all this stuff. He started feeling himself, and then you got humbled by a guy that wasn't supposed to be able to humble you. Now that kind of set a blueprint that, all right, man, we got this. You don't think Wilder's already formulating a way to beat Tyson Fury, or like, you know, studying him and his team? Bad performance. And this is what happens when you try to play God in the boxing game and prolong things and fight on your own accord instead of just giving the fans what they've been asking for when they're asking for it. Somebody loses, someone gets knocked out, somebody looks suspect, and boxing just doesn't seem to learn from it. Let me know what you guys think. We Unpack, coming to you live. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.